We can confirm that sometime after 4 today, there was an incident at an address at Walker's Avenue in Portmore, St. Catherine, where an address which comprises a number of small dwelling houses, approximately 11, built from wooden structure, were destroyed by fire. The information so far that a group of men went there and they firebombed one of the houses, and based on the structure, they're all wooden structure, the other houses were also affected by the fire. A total of 8 of them were totally destroyed in the fire and another 3 partially destroyed. No one was injured in the fire. It was also reported to the investigators that when the men were leaving, at least one of them discharged their weapon, and a taxi man who was in the vicinity, he received injuries. He was taken to hospital where he died. So the investigators are now there trying to ascertain who are the person or persons responsible for this incident. And they have since increased the presence in the area because they are trying to prevent any reoccurrence or continuation of what happened earlier this morning. And they will remain in place until they are satisfied that it is safe enough for them to withdraw the resources.
On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what go on. A blessed and wonderful Sunday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now, my peeps, I don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. We're going to talk about the knockings and clappings that resulted in the loss of life of a man, and also the firebombing that left approximately 47 people, including 27 children, and several of them are indeed infants. They have all been left homeless because of the old dirty kind of boy them fight for power in a community known as Gregory Park in the St. Catherine South Police Division. But before we get into the knockings and clappings there, we are going to show you some firearm recovered by the police. So you don't know when the squad of them put on a decent spot of work and recover some big chapstick off our street, we definitely have to make the ones and ones them out there know that. So the police them find a weapon, a mobile. You know, ever hear a gun bust yet? And one time you hear it bust, street light, dim on the place, shake, even your crockery in your cabinet rattle, and the only word come out of your mouth is, what that? Yeah man, I want to make you know, say the squad of them find the what that. Now on your screen is that magnificent recovery. So for those who never know, the what that, I hit this presently on your screen. Yeah, man. I don't know from 19 when this is going to make her from down in the 18 when, but boy, I tell you, dangerous piece of artillery this. And the rounds them with the police them find too. Boy, you see how them rounds they're big, tear flesh and broke bone type of thing. So what that is presently off the streets right now. And another magnificent find over there in Western Jamaica. This time in the troubled, war-torn, violence-prone Westmoreland Police Division. Now on your screen is 2 Taurus pistols along with 2 magazines and 36 9mm rounds. Those were seized in the White House era of Westmoreland. Yeah man, the police them definitely deal with the thing a certain type of way by seizing these type of weaponry from off the streets, which most definitely will save some lives in the long run. And also on your screen is an assault rifle, an AR-15 assault rifle that was also seized in the Westmoreland Police Division. Reports reaching on the Spot News Media is that this AR-15 assault rifle was recovered along the Barracks Road in Savannah Lamar, but that area is more popularly known as Gully Bank. Now, this is said to be the 4th rifle to be seized in that particular community since the start of ongoing operations to get rid of wanted criminal elements and guns from those violence-torn communities. Boy, may I tell you, my peeps, the amount of chopstick there, Jamaica, it seems as if more strap there, more than man. Yeah, man, boy, may I tell you, the thing rough. So to all of the ones and ones I'm out there traversing to church in the morning and my peeps, please remember on the Spot News Media, it's loyal viewers and subscribers in your immediate prayers. You definitely see how Jamaica run right now, so you know for sure, so we need that now more than ever. And of course, today is the official Red Rice and Rooster Day, so to all of the ones and ones I'm in the kitchen, I deal with the finger licking chicken, just go and bless upon yourself, same way. And to all of the regular members of Chan Public who out there traversing these streets from Moran Point to the Grill Point, safe travel, pan the gravel, and as always, continuously look out on the corner, yeah, cause what? The old dirty corner boy them, always out there, lurks, yeah man. So watch this now, my peeps, we're gonna continue with this morning's story. Over there in the troubled, crime-riddled, war-torn Gregory Park community, which is in the St. Catherine South Police Division, where fears that a rival gang leader was basically using the fragile peace to entrench and empower himself, cause criminal elements to stage a murderous attack on residents of the war-torn St. Catherine South community of Gregory Park over the weekend. Now my peeps, let me show you how them boy are wicked and cruel and heartless. And these are some of the reasons why we should not give these criminal elements any more leverage in our communities to continue this type of hell and reign over us. Now the criminal them basically never have no mercy. Them come literally bloodthirsty. It is said that some of the criminal them carried jugs of gasoline. Some have Molotov cocktail bomb in them hand, and some have some makeshift petrol bomb in them hand. And they invaded the community in the wee hours of Saturday morning, unleashing a barrage of gunfire and setting at least 11 houses located at 17 to 44 Walkers Avenue. May I tell you, my peeps, that's supposed to be an horrific experience for those persons. Thank God no one lost their lives in terms of the firebombing. But a taxi operator was sitting in his car talking on his phone, just make him last trip and decide for coming off of the road. The man them dirt him. Boy, may I tell you. So even though the fire blaze, the man them still a beat shot in the people in place. Residents were so terrified. I was told that you could hear echoes of the occupants trapped in the engulfed homes crying out for help and murder. They pleaded for their lives, but of course, ignoring the cries, the criminal elements continued their terrifying attack that lasted for an hour or more. Boy, may I tell you, it's rough. Now, during the brutal onslaught, the 28-year-old taxi operator, who has since been identified as Ranil Harton, but more popularly known in the community as Rum Punch, was also taken out in a hail of bullets, as I stated earlier. He was sitting in his car, said to be talking to a friend at approximately 3:50 a.m. or near 4 o'clock. As he was getting off work, him just drop off him last passenger and decide say, I'm gonna roll in. Residents stated that he tried to run for his life, but the man them just pepper can pan him, spread him out in the road, leaving him lifeless. Upon the arrival of the police, he was transported to the hospital where, sadly, you don't know what's going on right there, so. Mr. Harton is no longer among the land of the living. And also, one of our nation's most vulnerable, an 80-year-old woman, was also hospitalized for burns to her hands and legs, injuries she suffered as she tried to escape the burning house. And as stated earlier, at least 47 people, including 27 children, several of which is infants, were left homeless. Now, can a day get any worse for anybody? Other than you laying lifeless, I think this is supposed to be one of the worst and horrific experiences that anybody could have, because it is most definitely a near-death type of experience. The attack basically has its roots in a long-standing rivalry between two gangs from neighboring community. The era known as Gulf and the next era known as Mexico. Now backtracking a little bit, the era known as Gulf and Mexico, about a year ago, them call a truce, a peace treaty type of thing. Now we were going in the wee hours of the morning over the weekend they sat there. Residents are now fearful that that peace has been shattered beyond repair. Now, may I tell my peeps, the thing really serious, because little about 3 weeks ago thereabout, criminal elements staged a similar attack in the area known as Mexico, which is not far from Walker's Avenue, which left 15 people homeless, including 10 children. Now, according to the police, it is said that the gang behind yesterday's attack became suspicious that during the ceasefire, the leader of that rival gang was increasing his grips across other communities. So him feel big, bad and brave now and decide say him no want more peace. So he just sent his criminal elements, his goons, into the area and just start knock it and clap it in the place, just shoot up the place and burn out the whole place. So basically, it's a fight for turf, a fight for control over these communities. Now we have two criminal elements that we are going to feature. Them two old dirty kind of boy. It is alleged that they were involved in that brutal knockings and clappings which left the taximan no longer among the land of the living, and also many homeless. Now on your screen is Miguel, Tracey, but more popularly known in the criminal underworld as Ears. He's from the Gulf section of the Gregory community, said to be one of the main knockers and clappers in that brazen and brutal onslaught meted out to the regular members of Chan Public over there in Gregory Park. Yeah, man. So Miguel, Tracey, you are most definitely wanted by the police for the part that you played in that brazen attack. Now the next man is also said to be a person of interest by the St. Catherine South Police. He's known as Odane, Fowler, but more popularly known in the criminal underworld as Satan. Boy, may I tell you, what a name. I guess you live up true to the name given to you by your criminal element friends. You are also wanted in connection with that brazen and brutal firebombing of those homes and the slaying of the taxi operator in Gregory Park. So anyone knowing the whereabouts of these two criminal elements, please link up the 100-man police and give them the necessary information. And as always, if you don't trust the police, link on the Spot News Media or any like-minded vlogger. Give us the information and we will most definitely pass it on to the relevant authorities who can make effective change. The time is now, my peeps, to stand up for your right. Sometimes the only way for you to get justice is to fight for yourselves. Because in any given situation, in any given garrison communities, it's only less than 25% of any hardcore garrison community is actively involved in criminality. And the other 75 is law-abiding citizens who, because of circumstances, make them have to live there and continue to suffer under the hands of the minority, which is the 25%. Now, if the majority decide to stand up for themselves and decide say enough is enough, guess what I go on? The 25, not saying that them not going to put up a fight, because they will, because them love control. But at some point in time, they would have to concede and yield to the greater might. So as always, my peeps, whilst we denounce violence, sometimes violence is necessary, because sometimes the only counter that we have for violence is violence. Yeah, man. So anyway, my peeps, take from that what you may. And I'm speaking to the regular members of Chan Public who is tired and fed up of what is going on. Just cooperate with the police. Give them the information to rid your communities of these criminal elements. Even if they are on your side of the fence, give them up. Because of their involvement with other rival gangs, they will cause you to suffer because of their doings also. So don't keep a tight-lipped because what they do is not affecting you. Because, sad to say, what they do will come back to affect you. Yeah, man. A word to the wise. So anyway, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscasts. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.